welcome to Daring in North America. This is your ultimate source for inspiration, guidance, and mentorship. Join us today on a journey to unlock your full potential, achieve your dreams, and become the best version of yourself. If you're new here, my name is Umazi, and if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, and make sure you share with a friend. And let's embark on this adventure of empowering together. So today I want to talk about a topic that I think I did a part one of this topic, and I feel like I left out some of the professionals of this field, which is a field of education, as you have already seen on my topic today. So I want to highlight, or I want to talk with early childhood educators, internationally trained early childhood educators. As I have mentioned earlier that we did our video about teachers. I think it was like the second video on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't watched the video of how international trained teachers can register and practice in Ontario, I urge you to please visit our YouTube channel. The earlier videos, I'm going to share it here so you can see what I'm talking about. But we had discussed about how international teachers can be enrolled, or they can register themselves and practice in Ontario. So I'm focusing on Ontario because this is where I live, and this is where I have done a bit of research on how teachers or early childhood educators can register, get licenses, and practice. So first thing, you need to have at least, I'm going to take you step by step, and again, excuse me, because I have to keep on referring, I have to keep on checking the information, because I'm not a teacher myself, but I like reading about other professions and talk about the pathway. And this is the main reason why we have these channels, to let you guys know where you can get the resources, on how you can get your pathway, or which pathway really suits you. So this process of early childhood education, first, I know I'm from Kenya, and people in Kenya, teachers and early childhood educators, they're licensed by the same board, which is Teachers Service Commission. If I'm wrong, guys, you can correct me just on the comment section. But what I believe is the same board that licenses the teachers is the same board that licenses early childhood educators. With Ontario, that is different. So we have the Ontario College of Teachers, that is for teachers, and we have the Early Childhood Educators College of Early Childhood Educators, actually, which is for the early childhood educators. That's where you get your license. So this process is in two phases, and as I mentioned, it's slightly different from teachers, because here you are required to submit more paperwork, you're required to do more evaluation, you'll be required to do an exam before that. So I'm going to leave all the links that you need to follow, or you need to refer to, the handbooks, the board, the college website. It's all going to be on the description box, and you can also get this information on our website, because we have already done a whole blog, a summarized blog. Every time we do a video, a YouTube video, we usually post a blog on our website where you can go and refer step by step and see if you missed any information, if there's any link that you can click that will refer you to the website or the official website. So you can get that from our website. So this process for early childhood educators, internationally trained early childhood educators, is in two phases. And phase one is basically like to check if you meet the minimum requirement before you go to phase two. So they will check your documentation, they will check your documentation, obviously, like proof of names, proof of identity. I mean, if you changed any names, if you had a different name, and I know some countries, if you get married, you change a name. So in case like you changed any names, you have to provide a proof of those documents. So there's an application form online The website link, I'm going to leave it on the description box. You can also find it on the website. So on our website, which is daringin.na.ca. So you have to submit, you have to create a profile on the College of Early Childhood Educators website. You will get an application form. What you submit on that application form on phase 1 is your proof of identity, which is a passport for international trained early childhood educators. You will need to submit a WES evaluation certificate and a reference number. So before you even create that profile, please, I urge you, make sure that you have done the evaluation, or you have submitted rather the evaluation or your paperwork to WES for evaluation before you start, because they give you a time period of 6 months to make sure that you have everything uploaded on your profile and submitted. Otherwise, the application will be deleted and you have to start again. So phase 1 is basically your documents and your personal documents, which is passport, and also change of name, proof of change of names, and the other documents are your credential, school or education credentials, which they have to be evaluated by WES. They have given specifically WES, but I know that there are other boards that they do evaluation. However, the college here recommends that you do your evaluation with WES. It's about 300, it ranges between, I think, $250 to $350, depending on the specification that you will put in on your WES application or profile. So once you have done that, also, like, the other thing that you need to submit in phase 1 is a proof of language. Some countries are waived because they are trained, in Kenya, for example. Most of the time what you will need is a letter from the college that you trained, that you are trained in English, the course was delivered in English, and so that already acts as a proof of English. Otherwise, you will have to do an English test and submit an English test results. So that is it. Proof of identification, proof of English, proof of any change of names, and also your education evaluation assessment from WES, and you pay. So once you do the application, you submit those documents and you pay the amount of money for registration, then you will go to phase 2. Phase 2 is when the college will contact you and let you know what they need. So basically, if you meet the minimum requirements, then the college is going to ask for online course outlines from where you are trained. They will give you a specific course outline programs, a validator contact information form, validation of work experience. If you are working, make sure that you indicate that you're working so that you get recommendation letters from your workplace. You can get, for Kenya, you can get your recommendation from TSC, you can get recommendation from the county government that you work with, or the private institutions that you worked with or you are currently working with. So make sure that you have enough recommendations, because this acts like supports your documentation, or it gives some weight. It gives some weight to your experience, and you won't have to do a lot of like practicing hours or blah blah blah, because if you don't have any experience, if you've never worked before, then you will have to do practicing hours, obviously. So once you have done that, then the next step is, now they will assess if you meet the registration criteria. So you will also have to do an exam for the from the college. You have to do a registration college exam, and if you pass that exam, if you don't have any experience, then you will have to do practicing hours in Ontario. You might be waived depending on the recommendation that you will give, but otherwise, if they're not satisfied that you have met enough or you have practiced enough, then you will have to do practicing hours. And then you will also have to do what is it called, criminal record check with RCMP. So the process, actually, what I discovered is you can either do it from your home country, or if you're here in Canada, either you're visiting or you're here as a refugee claimant or you're here as a protected person, you can also do the criminal record check from Canada. If you're outside Canada, then you can do that assessment outside Canada. There's a certified board, there's an approved board that does the fingerprinting, like they digitalize your fingerprints and send them to RCMP, then they will give you a report. So you do the fingerprints at home, submit to this organization, and then they will digitalize it, send it to RCMP, and then they will give you a report. So you can use that either, or if you're already in Canada, you can just go. It's very easy and it's even cheaper to do it in Canada. So you need to have that. And then you also need to have, hang on a second, I think there's one I'm leaving out. Give me a second. There's RCMP, or there's first aid, and then there's also a child abuse registry check. You will have to do that. But all this information, once you meet the minimum requirement, then the college is going to send you the next steps of doing. So they're going to walk through with you. Like, this is the next stage. When you open the profile, you will see the document that you have not yet submitted. But at least before, what I want to emphasize is before you start this registration, is make sure you have submitted your papers or your transcripts to WES, and you have the reference number, you have your passport, you have any proof of change or name change or blah blah blah, you have it with you, and then you have the money to register, of course, to pay, so that you can move to the phase 2, where the college now will get in touch with you and take you through the phase 2. So that is all, actually. So after you submit your application, then you'll have to do the exam, then you have to do practicing hours if you don't have enough experience, obviously, and then after that, once you pass that and you get your license, then you can start looking for jobs. One thing that I want to encourage all of you is that Canada is in real need of teachers, early childhood educators. I have done videos, or rather we have done videos on the high in demand or in demand courses that you can do in Canada, and early childhood education was one of them. So it's a course that is very, very in demand. It's highly in demand. Actually, getting a slot, you have to really do it early. Right now, we are in September. You are not able to get January slots. Most of the colleges, they're already full for early childhood education, and now they are going to the nearest available is in May. So already that can tell you it's in shortage of early childhood educators. So you stand a high chance of yourself getting a job. Once you have that license with you, you can always start applying for jobs. And remember, with teaching, you can even do online teaching. So before you even move to Canada, if you get an employer that is flexible enough to allow you to do online teaching, then you can do that. But if you have to move and come to Canada, then you can do that as well. You can even move early, because if you have a relative who lives in Canada, you can come as a visitor, stay with them, and continue applying for jobs because you already have your license with you. So it's easy for you to find an LMIA approved employer who will give you sponsorship. But again, you already have a practicing license, so you are allowed to work in Canada. So you can get an employer, and as long as you get a job offer, you can just switch your visitor visa to a work permit, which is very easy. So that's all, guys, for today. I hope you have all the information, or I have given enough information. And if not, don't shy away from contacting us. Our emails, I'm going to leave our emails on the description box. You can leave a comment. I'm going to follow up with you personally. And you can also leave comments on our website. We are going to reach out to you. Our TikTok is Dina. Our Instagram page is Dina, Daring in North America, as well as our Facebook page is Daring in North America. Feel free to comment, feel free to reach out. TikTok, we might not be able to respond to TikTok because there's a lot of comments. There's not really comments, but there's a lot of inbox that come. So the easiest way is to comment on the video that you relate with, that you have a question, and then it's going to be easy for us to reach out to you. So, and Thank you for watching this video to the end. I know it's quite of a long video today, but I hope I have helped somebody, I've inspired somebody. I know I've mentioned about the process that is a bit long and tedious and a lot of documentation, and it's quite pricey because already for WES you have to pay, for RCMP criminal record check you have to pay, for registration you have to pay. So there's money involved, but again, it's worth it at the end of the day. So please take that step, take that bold step, and start your application today. And till next time, guys.